In this video, we're going to walk step by step through the climb procedure. We're going to discuss how to enter and exit the procedure and where to look on your instruments to maintain performance. A climb involves splitting your attention across the whole instrument panel. Because of this, your scan needs to cover a larger area than, say, straight and level flight. This makes it more difficult for new pilots to do things like control the power while also monitoring airspeed. Your primary instruments are going to be your directional gyro to maintain heading, your airspeed indicator to maintain the target climb speed, and your altimeter for keeping track of when to level off. You'll also use the vertical speed indicator, or VSI, to monitor the progression of your climb. And because you have to add and then remove power, your tachometer is a supporting instrument as well. So let's go ahead and go step by step through the procedure itself. The first thing you're going to do is increase power to full throttle. Then you'll pull back on the controls until you reach your target airspeed. And maintain that target airspeed throughout the climb, making sure not to deviate from your heading. As you approach your target altitude, note the vertical speed indicator. Take the climb rate shown on the VSI and divide by 10. Then lead the level off by that amount of feet. Once you level off at your target altitude, reduce power back to a low cruise setting of 2100 RPM. This will help you stop the climb. Okay, so now let's go ahead and walk through each phase of this procedure since we've done a high-level overview, and we'll examine where to look for information. At the start of the procedure, you recall that we begin with the application of power. So our attention will be down at the bottom right. You will need to keep your scan on the directional gyro so we don't deviate from our heading. That's a typical mistake that people make. As you apply power, you will also need to pull back and attain your target airspeed. So again, your scan is now having to jump from one side of the instrument panel to the other. So make sure to look quickly at these three instruments. Keep your focus here as your eyes go from power to heading to airspeed and back. You'll need to make sure that you're maintaining the airspeed and capturing the airspeed for the climb. And you just want to make sure that you don't deviate from the heading, which is one of the common errors that people make. So as you conduct the climb itself, your scan will need to take into account the vertical speed and your altimeter. Your primary focus will likely be on the airspeed indicator and directional gyro, but begin monitoring the altimeter so you can anticipate when to level off. Use 10% of the vertical speed to help with your transition back to level flight. Your scan will be focusing on these areas of the panel and not allowing control of the airspeed to make you lose track of your heading. And remember, you're trying to anticipate when to level off by using your vertical speed indication. And the end of the procedure is when you stop the climb. Here again, we need to scan a very large portion of the panel as we anticipate our level off. Make sure that we hit our target altitude and also maintain our heading. When we reach over and adjust our power back to a low cruise setting, make sure to not let your heading deviate or your altitude continue climbing. The vertical speed indicator will be your friend here. It will tell you if you've truly leveled off or not. And a quick scan of the directional gyro will help you stay on course as you pitch back to level flight. The most common error here is letting your heading deviate when you start manipulating the power control, and also letting your vertical speed increase after you think you've reached your target altitude. Often people will reach their target altitude, level off, and then as their attention gets drawn away, they'll actually continue climbing. So keep an eye on that. So there you have it. We hope this video will help you understand the climb procedure and how to be successful in your training.